Welcome to the multi-unit overview video. Multi-unit is a brand new feature that we've added to FieldRoutes that allows you to do a lot of cool things with a single customer that is, for example, a property of apartment buildings or a property of condos. You can take this one single address and add hundreds and hundreds of units within that address. So let's kind of go over what that means. I'm going to create a new customer here, and I'm going to name them apartment. So I'll put it up here. Apartment complex. Okay, so apartment complex. I'm going to leave the street address and stuff out, but I'm going to add this. We have this new thing called source here. And this source allows you to switch between a single unit and a multi-unit property type. And so when I save this customer card, you're going to see that a brand new tab pops up only for these multi-unit property types or customers. So right here we have the units tab. And this is where the powerful things come into place with creating units. In the past, you used to have to create each apartment unit within FieldRoutes as a separate customer. Now, you can just have one single customer and create bulk units. So I'm going to go over this here. Let's say, for example, that the apartment complex has a building A. And this building A has 3 levels. So it has story 1, story 2, and story 3. It also, the apartments go and they count by 2s as they go up. So we're going to increment it by 2. And you could have an offset here if you wanted to offset, so it started at 101 and increment by 2 instead of 100. But I'm just going to leave that blank. I'm also not going to change the digits. But watch what happens here when I add. I can add up to 50 units at a time. And you can see I have apartment building A with 3 different levels, and I just added 50 units. So you can see here that we now have level 1 has 50 units from 100 to 198, and then we have the same thing for levels 2 and 3. So I'm going to now save these units, and we'll see what happens here. So cool. Now you can see that I have this a unit added. You can have notes on this unit. You can change and customize the building and unit number. And you can also add a barcode, which is a feature that you use when you get back into FieldRoutes. So, and optionally, you can add units one at a time here as well. So what does this look like when we go and make a new subscription? So I'm going to go ahead and make a new subscription and show you a little bit about what it means when you make a brand new one. So I'm going to do a quarterly pest subscription, and we have a new section here called unit quota. What this section does is it allows you to specify how many units you want to service each quarter in this case, or the percentage of units that you want to service. So let's go ahead and put in their percentage, and I'll show you a little bit about what this means here. So I'm going to put in 20%. And before, I believe that we generated 150 units. So let's see if I'm not mistaken. And, oh, actually, we just saw there. So I actually I had to save this. But you can see here the quota did pop up. So that's 30 units. So 20% of that 150 is 30 units. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to schedule this appointment out so you can see what that looks like when we go ahead and schedule. So luckily I have a route up here, so I'm going to schedule it right on this route. What you'll see here is the standard scheduling. You can set timed, anytime, things like that. But we also have the units here. So let's go into the units tab. You'll see that we actually have 30 scheduled units for this particular appointment. And you can see there's external and internal notes, and as well as chemicals that are already added from the chemical templates that we have set up under service types. For this particular schedule, now that I have 30 units, I know that the duration here is going to be much longer than normal, than a normal appointment. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule it as a 7-hour duration. We can see that this is a very, very long appointment because there's 30 different apartments that will be serviced. And let's go ahead and check out TechRoutes and see what it looks like from that end. All right, we're now inside of TechRoutes here on that same route that we just scheduled. So I'm going to go into here to the apartment complex appointment that we have. And as you can see here, there's this new tab called Units. So this Units tab allows you to see all of the scheduled units for this particular appointment. So we see here the 30 units that were scheduled from before, from that allotment that we had out of the entire amount of units. So what you can do here is you can actually scan the unit to go into that particular unit. So let's say you walk into a unit and you have barcodes for whatever reason. You can use scan unit to scan that barcode, and you can attach that barcode to the unit through FieldRoutes. I showed that previously. You can find more information about this in the guides as well. To add a particular unit, let's say, oh, actually there's one other unit, let's say, for example, you're at the apartment complex and in the moment the apartment manager says, I actually need you to service A160. They're having a horrible amp problem. Can you do that now? The tech can simply go in and go ahead and service that right on the spot. And now we can see we added that particular unit at the bottom there. Another thing you'll see as you go in here is you can see internal notes, external notes, and service notes. Again, look in the guides for information on that. You can also see all the products that are added through the chemical template that's inside of preferences under service types. So let's say that let's actually go back here, and I'm going to go through a little scenario here before we finish. I'm going to go back to the unit A160, and let's say, okay, yeah, they have a horrible amp problem. I'm just going to pick some random chemical here and say, oh, I actually need to use this chemical for apartment A160. And since it was added, you can see here as well that the chemical template didn't get added to this particular unit. So you'll have to go ahead and add all the chemicals that need to be serviced for that particular unit that you add. So that is the overview of MultiUnit. Again, go ahead and check the guides and you'll get detailed information about how to use all the nitty-gritty features of this great new and powerful feature in FieldRoutes.